A period of anticipation, optimism, and a little bit of anxiousness as the Premier League returns with the Merseyside Derby and the in-form Arsenal take on Manchester City. What's up and welcome to All Balls, the show that keeps you up to date with all the Premier League action and fantasy football tips. Guys, I'm Rohan Manglani, Rahul Bell next to me. The Premier League is back. We are back. The Merseyside Derby is the first game of the weekend. Everton haven't won in 19 games against Liverpool in the Premier League, but they are at the top of the table. That's how it's set up.
And Liverpool's coming off a 7-2 against Villa.
Yeah, and it's such a big game it's one of the top flight Merseyside derbies ever, in
It's
the
probably
Premier
the
League.
most competitive Merseyside derby in the longest time because Everton is unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin is unstoppable. He's got 9 goals in 6 games. James Rodriguez is on fire and Liverpool's defense seems to be non-existent.
He has the maximum chances, doesn't he?
And Liverpool doesn't have a goalkeeper. I mean, Alisson's out. Adrian's a headless chicken on the field. So I don't see Liverpool, coming in with great confidence. Apart from the fact that maybe Thiago's back.
That's a big one.
Mane is doubtful. Jota is doubtful. So that front line with Firmino not firing only has a Mo Salah for Liverpool to depend on.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a game which is, going to be... It's not going to be a one-sided game like the past. And obviously we have the goalkeeping version of Harry Maguire for Everton in the form of Jordan Pickford in goal. So it's going to be a good game, but I have a feeling that Everton will edge this one on confidence, on quality, and on the fact that Liverpool does not have its full squad.
That's a very bold prediction.
I mean, it's not really too bold. I mean, Everton's 4 out of 4. The last time they won 5 out of 5 was in 1938, I think, and they beat your beloved Arsenal.
Yeah, however, the last time Everton beat...
No, but your beloved Arsenal.
That's fine, and fair enough. But the thing is, Everton haven't beaten Liverpool since in the last 19
but they've
games.
not had that squad in the last
since 2010. Yeah, and I mean... But still, I understand that there are certain players who are not available for Liverpool at this point of time. But I don't think that should actually really make a difference
But talk of the certain players, those certain players, one of them is Sadio
Salah's
Mane.
there, Firmino's
Salah's
there,
but
Thiago Alcantara comes into this.
He's
into
playing
the game.
his second game.
You have a top-notch defense, which they had
a top-notch defense.
I believe that it was a blip. What happened at Villa. Fair enough. I'm not saying they won't concede. I'm not saying it won't be competitive. But to say that,
But you're talking about that defense with Adrian at the back. That is the biggest worry for Liverpool. I mean, you can still have Van Dijk and Gomez come back to form. But if your keeper is doing what he's doing, then how do you stop that? Especially against a striker who's going all guns blazing.
So do you think that they'll actually keep the high line which they kept at Aston Villa, like right at the line?
I'm not sure about the high line.
I don't think so.
They'll sit back because I think they would want Van Dijk closer to Adrian.
A little more
to
security.
avoid that gap, to give him that much space to play. Yeah. But I still feel Everton will explore the
gaps.
Just
a quick question. Do you think that this will change Liverpool's game plan a little bit?
The
sense that they obviously they will go out to win, but will they go out pushing for that win, or will they be content with a draw if it comes to that?
Knowing Klopp, he's never content with a draw. Knowing Klopp, he will attack. But I just feel it's going to hurt them against a quality side who's in form. Now with Ancelotti, with Everton, Ancelotti knows what his team is capable of, so he will throw everything out there. They have a strong midfield to match Liverpool's midfield. They have a strike force that will give Liverpool's defense problems. And Liverpool's attack is still very, dicey of sorts, where you only see a Mo Salah in form yet. You had a Mane in form, he might not play. You have a Diogo Jota, he might not play because of the whole COVID scene during the international weekend.
True.
So yeah, I would go for an Everton win. I won't really comment on the scoreline, but there are going to be goals in this game.
No, but I'm going to ask you a prediction.
I think probably a 2-1 or a 3-2 to an Everton, but an Everton win.
Okay. I think I'll go for a draw. I'll go for 2-2.
Man City versus Arsenal at the Etihad. Pep going from playing his mentor to playing someone who treats him as a mentor.
The student versus the master.
Exactly. Unbeaten in 9 versus Arsenal. So, start. Is Arsenal going to have a party?
It's no Thomas, no party. But we've got Thomas, so the party's on. And I'm pretty confident going into this one, actually.
You were confident going into every game, by the way.
Yeah, but there's nothing not to
like
be
you were
confident
sitting
about.
outside and saying, "Yeah, Arsenal, like aane de kisi ko bhi."
No, I.
You were like all guns.
But
blazing.
what is wrong in being confident? We are in a good moment, since the Premier League has started, and it's a.
But you've not beaten City in the last 9 games.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to be a different one. They have a couple of injury problems. They've
Major injury problems.
They have 4 points in the last 3 games in the league, which hasn't happened in years since Man City has been playing top level football. And I think that this is the time where we probably, as an Arsenal fan, you want to see us turning a leaf.
And you're joining your hands when you're saying that, so you're praying you turn a leaf.
No, I'm pretty sure that our game will be like that. But now, what happens on the day is another situation. But I think that one of the things is there's no Aguero, there's no Jesus, probably there's no KDB, there's no probably Sterling. Depending,
KDB, yeah, he's doubtful.
Yeah, and depending on what happens with the COVID policy, there may not be a Ruben Diaz, there may not be a Bernardo Silva. So that helps Arsenal. But having said that, we are again. I think that we have to be very positive in this game, and we have to put all the pressure on Man City. We've gone to Liverpool recently. We've played Man City earlier, but we've gone there with a counter-attacking mentality, thinking that we'll defend it out till 60-70 minutes and then try and hit on the break. But in this game, I feel definitely that Arsenal need to put the pressure on Man City, and especially if they are a slightly weakened squad, because you got to go. You have one of the best attacks in the league. You have a reasonably good defense at the moment. You've strengthened your midfield with Thomas Partey, and I think he'll start the game. So I don't think that we should be fearful for anything. In fact, we need to go and get the 3 points.
I've said this before.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. One breath.
One breath.
He's done this in one
I
breath.
know my Arsenal stuff, man.
One breath.
I mean, what do I do?
Mention Emiliano Martinez. Okay, no, I'm kidding. But Aubameyang, is his form a worry?
No, not at all.
I mean, he's not really, got the goals he was supposed to. I mean, he has got his goals, but last couple of games he's been a little hot and cold. So is his form a worry for you?
It's not a worry for me.
You think he's going to come good?
Yeah, I see, irrespective whether he scores or no, I know that he's going to be on the pitch and he's going to do his whatever he has to do. And against a team like Man City, your most important thing is your attack starts putting pressure on the ball. So it's more like you're defending first with the attackers and putting pressure on them. And I am sure that Oba, Laka, and whoever starts on the right, I think probably it'll be Willian, because
I think Willian will have the most important role, because City seem most vulnerable at left back.
Yeah.
I mean, with Zinchenko or Mendy or whoever plays there, they seem most vulnerable.
And that's exactly what Leeds did in the game. Exactly. They put a lot of pressure on Mendy. Mendy had to pass back, or they had to pass somewhere in the middle, but they were putting all that pressure and marking Fernandinho or Rodri in the middle. Another point that, Fernandinho probably does not have the legs to play 2 games for 90 minutes, and they have a Champions League game in midweek. And at the same time, when the game extends itself, when there is space created, again, Rodri in those positions is slightly a doubt. He's not too
slow.
mobile. Yeah, he's not extremely quick to getting into position. So that the game will be won or lost there, according to me.
So I think City's squad depth would be put to test in this one.
And this is a great opportunity for Arsenal.
And your prediction? I mean, I know it's an Arsenal win. You've thought over this.
Yes, I would like to go. I would like to predict an Arsenal win. I hope it happens. And
how much?
Yeah, probably.
Optimism.
No, not too much. I think it'll
Humility.
be like 2-1 or something, like to Arsenal, I would say. What about you?
I'm going with City.
What's your prediction?
I'm never predicting a win for Arsenal.
What's your prediction for City?
2-0, 3-0 City. You're not scoring.
Okay. We are not scoring.
No, you're not scoring.
No
Partey.
Chelsea versus Southampton at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have won 7 out of their last 9 games against Southampton. Rahul, what do you think, man?
They've kept 7 out of their last 7 games they've won in their last 8 home games. They've kept 5 clean sheets. I mean, they have most of their attacking lineup fit right now. Only Chilwell being, I think, because of the international break being a doubt. But yeah, I mean, I don't see Chelsea like losing this or even being...
They did lose this same fixture last season.
Yeah, but they didn't have this last season what they have this season. I mean, they have...
Firepower.
And Thiago Silva.
Firepower, yeah. We saw, I mean, both of them started for Germany.
They both... Havertz and Werner, started combined. For Germany combined. But
Werner scored.
Coming back to the point that the moment Thiago Silva and Chilwell played, They kept a clean sheet. The moment Thiago Silva was, in the midst of things, he was good. And I mean, with Pulisic back, with Ziyech back, with Werner, scoring, hopefully he will play towards the centre. I don't see Chelsea having a problem against the Southampton side. I mean, they've conceded over 7 shots a game. And if you give this attacking lineup 7 shots, I'm sure they're going to get at least 50% of them inside the goal.
Fair enough. But Danny Ings will keep them on their toes. Chelsea, although they kept a clean sheet now, and obviously Chilwell is not, going to be involved over this weekend. But I mean, Chelsea's defense is looking a little shaky without these guys. Now, obviously, Thiago Silva will play the game.
But I would rather, if I was Lampard, I would move Aspi to, the left, bring in Reece James on the right, and that would solve the problem because Azpilicueta experienced, played at left back multiple times. So I don't see a problem there. I mean, ideally, I would like to see all this firepower start together, with probably.
Is he going to start Pulisic and Ziyech?
He might start Pulisic. I don't think he'll start Ziyech too soon. He just come back from injury training, his first game in the Premier League. But I think he will bring him on. He should bring him on. Which is why I feel Tammy might get another chance. But apart from that, I mean, I don't see Southampton, except for the little trouble that Danny Ings might cause their defense, I don't see them coming out with too much.
A very interesting stat is that Chelsea have 81 10 pass sequences in their game, which is the maximum in the Premier League so far. The second is Arsenal. But anyway, just trying to say that the way Lampard's been playing is that pass, transition, quick transition system. So I don't think he's going to change too much. But I'll be really glad, and I'm sure that Chelsea fans will be glad with Pulisic coming into the game because he's a phenomenal player.
He was the one that was driving them after the restart last season.
Exactly, right? Without him, it would be tough to get that top
carrying
4.
the ball, creating those chances. So having him back is a big advantage. Having quality added to the side with Kai Havertz and Werner is another advantage. So, again, like I said, I see Chelsea coming out comfortable winners in this one. Southampton will probably do nothing but trouble their defense a little bit with Ings. But, Southampton, again, comes across as a side like, Crystal Palace, who is dependent on one player. So, where there's Zaha over there's probably Ings getting them the goals over here. But it doesn't matter if he's getting the goals over here if you're conceding at the back. So, probably a 3-0 or a 4-0
Your
to
prediction?
Chelsea. 3-0 or a 4-0 to Chelsea.
Cool.
With Werner scoring, hopefully.
He's in my fantasy team, so hopefully. But I'll go with 2-1 for Chelsea.
Sheffield at home to Fulham. Creating history. None of these sides have led in the Premier League till date this season.
Yeah.
So one of them hopefully will. Where Fulham can't stop conceding, Sheffield can't start scoring. Sheffield scored 1 goal in 4 games.
Yeah.
And Fulham's conceded plenty. So I'm just quickly going to come to it because your prediction.
My prediction is Sheffield winning this game.
Sheffield winning this game by scoring goals.
By a couple of goals.
With the ball actually going in the net.
See, they've got Ryan Brewster, who is a good signing on deadline day. At the same time, Scott Parker, he has no defense whatsoever. In fact, I think that's the reason why probably Sheffield, and they are a very good defensive unit, Sheffield. So I think that's why they go out, they'll win this game, they'll get their goal scoring abilities back.
2-0 Sheffield?
Yeah, easily. Okay. And a sack for Scott Parker soon enough.
Why? I like Scotty.
I mean, we all like him. I don't like him. He's ex-Spurs, but whatever.
Crystal Palace versus Brighton at Sellers Park. Oldest average age versus youngest average age. Are we going to have men versus boys or are we going to snooze?
Well, the men have 31% possession throughout this Premier League on an average. So I don't know who's
You are degrading them by laughing at
I
that
also want to ask you one question. Is Zaha still at Palace? After every window, we want to know, is Zaha still at Palace?
He's the only player at Palace.
Okay. And
if he doesn't play, nobody plays. I mean, there's Mohamed Sako going everywhere at the back.
Yeah.
And then there's Zaha.
And there's Roy Hodgson on the...
Yeah. So, I don't know what. 1-1 Palace. Palace, Brighton. Neil Maupay crying, then crying after the game.
No, I think Brighton, good game actually, because Brighton have been playing well. Palace, nobody knows what's going on.
Every time you say something nice about this, you laugh.
No, but I really feel that it's going to be a good game. Although
okay, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, what's your prediction?
1-1.
Okay, I'll go with the same.
Okay.
Newcastle versus Manchester United at St. James's Park. Newcastle have won 2 out of their last 3 home games against United. Ole is still at the wheel. Sancho hasn't showed up. Alex Telles has arrived. Rahul Bell is covering his face.
No, I was waiting for you to get done with your little
Okay.
rant
Go on then,
about
Rahul.
Jordan Sancho.
Go
First
on.
of all, let Jordan Sancho go.
Okay. Jaden, it's Jaden.
Whoever he is.
Paying 80 million, you need to know the name, buddy.
Because we didn't get him, I don't want to know his name.
120 million, but you
because
need...
we didn't get him, I purposely said that because I don't want to know his name.
Okay. Moving on.
Move it. Thank you.
Moving on.
Magic golden words from your mouth. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're above us in the table for the first time since God knows how long. December 2013. It hurts. A team that has the lowest shots in this Premier League is above us on the table. United is second in goals conceded. You conceded 11 goals in 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking.
I mean, you're 16th on the table for a reason.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for that, by the way. But I'm just saying, I'm not... Marshall is out. We hopefully don't want Maguire, but I mean, just there was this thing I read yesterday where there's a petition where you carry the international red card.
Yes.
Into
Do you
the
want
Premier
that?
League.
Because
I
mean,
would love that.
Newcastle are one of the teams who have the lowest shots on target. Like
I would love not having Maguire for one game. Like
yeah, again, but this is a game you might as well play him because Newcastle are not that
there is
clinical
no game
in
I would
front
play
of goal.
There's no game.
There's no game.
I would maximum play him against like Borivali 11 or something like that. Not more than that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully Van der Beek will get his chance to start since there's no Martial. Bruno still don't know with the rules whether he will be allowed to play after the whole
we don't want to
COVID
see
scene.
this COVID situation. We hope that all the players can play.
Of course, United of all people should hope that Bruno is there because that is one talking point of the game. But yeah, Newcastle, I don't know, Callum Wilson seems...
4 goals?
Yeah, I mean 4 goals he's had in 6 shots or something that he's taken.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's getting his goals in. United don't have the best record against Newcastle in the recent past. And Newcastle, I mean, your favorite French toast is going to run circles around.
I didn't speak about him because I was leaving it for the post show. But anyway, since you brought his name up, it's Maximo.
Are you done?
He's going to run. He's going to run that United defense.
Yeah, but we have Alex Telles back. I mean, not back as in we have him.
Yeah.
In
No.
the
So
lineup.
what's your setup for United?
I hopefully don't want Maguire, but unfortunately he will start. I want to see Bailly next to Maguire.
You don't think he'll be dropped? It's not because of only what happened in this break. He got the red
I've said
card.
this
But
before, Ole has this tendency of one more chance, one more chance. He gave David De Gea that chance. Maguire's your captain. Unfortunately, he's not going to just bench him on bad performances. He'll want him there to improve. I hope Bailly starts next to him. You have Van Bissaka on the right, Telles on the left. Have Matic, Pogba, Bruno and Van der Beek start in the middle. And then you have Rashford and Greenwood up top since, we don't have Martial and Cavani will not be available.
So more like a
for this
4-4-2?
game. More like a 4-4-2, but more like Bruno and Van der Beek having sort of free roles. Rashford more towards the centre. Greenwood also not really hugging the touchline, but moving a little, towards the centre. If you have the players who can pass the ball around, United should try to drive through the centre and not really depend on the wing that much. Because there is no Martial, to replace a Rashford mid-game and take up his position and help Rashford come in the centre. So, push the wing backs forward, attack Newcastle rather than just sitting back. They are short
put
on
the
confidence.
pressure on them.
Yeah, put the pressure on them early.
Yeah, and press. Do you think that they'll press? Because
I've not seen United press.
Except for that second half in which they came back which was the second game.
The Brighton.
Yeah, in which they came back, they were pressing.
Even after the restart, you didn't really see United press.
So that's not the philosophy,
I
probably.
don't think so, and which is, it's kind of sad, in this day and age because you see every team pressing.
At least the top teams.
Yeah, and one thing I don't want to see is playing out from the back. Because they do not know how to play out from the back. It's as simple as that.
They can't start clearing the ball high or lobbing it against Newcastle. They can't do that.
I know, but you never know. A Callum Wilson will just come and snatch it off you.
Yeah, there's always
knowing
danger,
Harry Maguire,
but
there's always with Bailly, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, there is always danger.
Okay, very quickly now, can United and will United win this game?
I hope they will. I am confident they will to turn it around, turn that mentality around. A good, comfortable win, which, is more a hope than anything. But even a 1-0 at this point will do to get that engine running, to get the momentum, to get the points. Okay. So yeah, I want a 1-0. I would want, I will go with a 2-0. I think there will be a second goal in this game.
Yeah.
But most importantly would be the clean sheet.
So you're going with a 2-0?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm very happy that you have not attacked me as much this segment.
2-0 to United. Tottenham versus West Ham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A London derby or a Stratford derby? We don't know. You decide whatever you want to call it.
London derby.
Spurs have done the double over West Ham in the last season.
And have lost only 3 of their last 27 derbies. And they have Son, who's topping the goal chart.
Yeah.
They have Kane with the most assists, directly involved in 9 goals this season.
Which is the most, yeah.
And West Ham are in form. I mean, they won their last 2 games.
So how easy is it going to be for Tottenham?
I don't think it's going to be easy.
West Ham have just beaten Wolves. They've also beaten Leicester.
Exactly. It's not going to be easy for Spurs. But I still feel they have that little more quality that maybe West Ham doesn't. Still awaiting, a final verdict on Gareth Bale. But he scored some goals against West Ham in the past, most memorably that last minute long range. So, that might be something.
A good battle in the midfield also with Declan Rice and Souček doing so
Mark
well.
Noble on the bench.
Yeah, but but with Declan Rice, Souček, then you have
Ndombele is in good form.
Tanguy,
Exactly. So, I mean, I still feel Spurs has more quality. Spurs has more pace.
Oh, definitely.
And Spurs has a stronger defense and a better goalkeeper. I mean, on paper, they are stronger than West Ham in every department. They are in form. They don't have too many injury worries.
Yeah.
And I mean, though West Ham are in form, I just see Spurs edging this one. I don't see them dominating.
Encouraging performances for Spurs and for West Ham. So actually a very good game over the weekend.
It'll be a good game to watch.
Game,
Yes, it will be a good game to watch. It'll be fast. There might not be too many goals involved. I just feel it's going to be a very midfield kind of game. It's going to be a battle which is going to be in the middle of the park and probably the 1 odd or the 2 odd goals, unless then you see a Harry Kane and a Son go crazy and just put in 5 like they've done twice this season.
Talking about Harry Kane and Son, I mean, you can't forget that there's Antonio over there who's created a mess and a lot of issues for the teams he's played against.
But then you have a Davison Sanchez and an Eric Dyer to counter an Antonio.
Yeah,
you have someone to counter a Son.
You have a Haller on the bench. I'm not saying that like it's a massive thing, but I'm saying it's a thing to create a problem.
I'm just saying Spurs physically seem stronger and even pace-wise, I feel they have, that little edge over West Ham. So even if it's on the counter or not on the counter and just pressing them, I think Spurs will get the better of West Ham. Again, West Ham have been in form. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but I just see it being maybe a 2-0 or a 3-1 to Spurs. And unfortunately, Mourinho walking away with 3 more points.
I think I'll go with a draw on this one. Leicester versus Aston Villa at the King Power. Leicester have won 4 out of the last 5 games against Aston Villa. Leicester coming out of a loss, whereas which
Villa
was very
coming high on a win.
Exactly. So,
and I mean, Villa will be, confident. They will be
the
feeling
break,
good about
I'm
themselves.
sure they didn't want
the break. But I mean, even then, players like Jack Grealish are pure quality.
Yeah.
So he will influence the game. Ollie Watkins, most goals in the top 2 tiers of league football. He had the perfect hat-trick against a side like Liverpool. So he will be, raring to go. And Leicester, I mean, while, they started off well, they had that little blip against West Ham. Jamie Vardy would want to come back, on the score sheet. He has 5 goals in 4 games against Aston Villa and, of course, Golden Boot holder. So you can't really doubt the fact that he's going to come out strong. But yeah, I mean, I see it being a very balanced game. But I see Leicester edging this one. I just feel that Vardy has a little more quality than the Aston Villa defense.
They did look lost, but when they played West Ham the last time, there was no creativity, there was no game plan.
Which is why I feel they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, but then if Maddison is fit, will he start?
I don't think so. I think Brendan Rodgers prefers Harvey Barnes at that number 10 only because of the fact that he also carries the ball and has more pace.
Yeah.
So there are times where he runs past Vardy. He has Castagna on the right.
But Maddison,
I know he is quality, but
he's absolute quality. He scored that.
Yeah, but they're doing so well without him.
Insane goal against City. Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't need him. I mean, he will, be an important player for them this season.
No, but you would think that this is the perfect time to get a player back, right? When your team has lost the last game, now you want to
but you would also
everything.
want to give that team a chance to come back, right? A chance to bounce back. So I don't think Leicester had, were in bad form or something. I just think they had a bad game. Aston Villa had a relatively better game versus Liverpool, to put it very mildly. But then again, Leicester will be a different test, And
now, Jack Grealish, Aston Villa, was involved in 6 goals in 23 appearances last season. This season, he's involved already in 7 in 4 appearances. So,
I mean, yeah, he's
what
come,
a player he is.
He's
And
turned into a new player
it
suddenly.
was really sad to see that he didn't get too much time in the internationals also, which he played.
Which is good for Aston Villa.
Which is good for Aston Villa. But I mean, he's a quality player and I think he can impact the game like this.
He can impact. He did impact the game versus Liverpool. I think Ross Barkley also for that, little engine room in the middle
Seems
of
like
the
a
park.
perfect fit, no?
Yeah, and with Hourahan, I think they're really settled as a side. I think defensively also they were not troubled so far or they're not being tested so far, which I feel Leicester will with their wing backs, with their wingers, with Harvey Barnes and Vardy through the centre. So yeah, I still feel Leicester's going to edge it, but you can't really say with Aston Villa. They're in hot form, so
I'll say my prediction first, then you can go for it, okay? I'm going 3-1 to Villa.
I'm going 3-1 to Leicester.
West Brom versus Burnley at the Hawthorns, 17th versus 18th. I don't have a prediction, do you?
Relegation battle.
Yeah.
No, I mean they're both winless. They're not bad teams. It's just that West Brom is still getting to know
Trying to
life
express
in modern
themselves.
Premier League football. And Burnley haven't really started off well. They both have quality versus each other, not compared to the league. But yeah, I mean, it's not even bottom of the table. I mean, like rock bottom of the table clash of sorts. So yeah, I mean, a draw probably, or maybe a Burnley win because I see Burnley being stronger than West Brom in terms of just conceded lesser goals.
Chris Wood header.
What is with you and Chris Wood?
I just like the guy. He's a New Zealander. He's come here. He's playing. He's a big, tall, tough guy.
Get
proper
out.
striker.
Get out.
Okay. Anyway, are we ending the segment?
Yes. 1-0 Burnley. Leeds versus Wolves at Ellen Road. Okay, before we start, is this going to be the first walkover of the Premier League? Like we had in the Italian league?
The UA won.
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo's tested positive. He was with the Portuguese side. Wolves is the Portuguese side.
Pretty much.
So, okay, but jokes apart, Leeds have lost 3 of their last 4 against Wolves. Wolves are not really in form, though they won their last game. They still seem a little dicey this season. So, what do you think Leeds is going to do? Leeds is they're in red hot form. They lost their first game to Liverpool, though, they didn't play badly. They just got unfortunate, but they won their next 3. So, what do you make of this game?
Honestly, I think it's a very good game to watch because Leeds have had the maximum shots they've conceded. They've been the most open team, if you can term it like that, defensively. Although Luke Ayling is there who's made the maximum tackles and the maximum dribbles. But however, having said that, and they do play this whole fearless football and constant intensity and pressure, and I think Leeds is one of the teams which has the maximum work rate in the Premier League so far. Having said that, again, you pointed out that Wolves hasn't been great, but overall they've been a very consistent team in the league. So that mix and match makes it a phenomenal game to watch.
They have their goal scorers, They have Raul Jimenez, they have
But
Pedro
we did
Neto.
say that, Jota left the team, Doherty left the team.
I think Neto did a great job replacing.
No doubt, but too much has changed in Wolves. Maybe maybe they've had this break, they've used this break to sort out things a little more.
They were together in the national side as well.
Yeah. So maybe, and even Nuno, maybe he's sorted out certain things and certain in this break. We don't know how to term that, how they've actually used the break. Having said that, Leeds is again it's going to be one of those tactical games, in which Bielsa is going to do something, change the game at halftime if he's down or change the game at halftime even if he's leading. So you never know. Bamford is in great form. He's been involved in 4 goals in 4 Premier League starts.
And do you think your ex-Leicester City winger, Podence, is going to come and affect the game? And the baby-oiled assassin, Traore.
Yeah.
You think he's going to use, because he didn't start the last game.
Yeah.
He used Semedo in that wing-back position and then he brought on Traore later.
I think they were trying to do a deadline day 160 million move for him. They were just unfortunate that United didn't bid, otherwise it was all happening. But anyway, speaking about that, what's your prediction about this game?
I think I'll go with Wolves. While, I like Leeds as a team. I know they're winning and stuff. But I think this is the game Wolves is going to make the comeback. And Jimenez is going to get back on the score sheet.
I also feel that actually.
Because, like you said, Leeds, concedes a lot of shots through open play. Wolves has players, goal-scoring players. Like Pedro Neto has a great shot on him. Raul Jimenez, we've all seen what he can do.
Yeah.
So I just think there are goals in this game. I just think Wolves will get more of those goals than Leeds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to go with Raul on this one. Wolves takes the game.
And Leeds takes the hearts.
Well, this is not about that, but it's going to be a phenomenal. It's going to be a
Get
cracker.
out.
It's going to be a cracker.
So that wraps up another episode of All Balls. Exciting fixtures this weekend. Also Arsenal playing. But yes, the big one is the Merseyside Derby. Everton on top. Liverpool looking to come back. And I mean, okay, fine.
Can United get out of 16th?
16 divided by 2. This is coming from 8th place last season.
You see, you better pick that up from the rack.
From there.
Who's ahead of you in the rack? Even the clothes rack is saying Visit Ravanda is first. Is better. That's Arsenal.
It doesn't have a logo, it's fake. But yes, we've made some bold predictions this week. So let us know in the comment section what you feel. Also, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, click the bell icon. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.